Hey guys, what's up? Today we're doing another foundation first impressions. This is a foundation that I was so excited when it launched. I was like following it before it launched, and I was there the day of, the moment of, I was there ready to click my button because I was so excited. And I'm talking about the ColourPop No Filter Foundation. So we're gonna be trying it out today. We're gonna be trying it out for 12 plus hours. We're going to be seeing if it's good with fine lines. We're going to be seeing if it's good with my dry skin. With humidity, we're going to be checking if it oxidizes. We're going to be comparing the shades that I got with other shades that match me. We are going to be doing a flash test. We are going to be doing a transfer, like checking if it transfers. So we're going to be doing everything today. You can get as much information here as possible. I want this to be like a one-stop shop video where you get as much information as you possibly can. So before we get started, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and you hit the bell so that you're notified of all my future videos. I upload Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and yeah, I would love it if you join the Bomb Beautiful family. So we are going to be okay, so I did get 3 shades, and before I get started with the first impressions, let's see what the ColourPop company actually claims about the foundation so that we know what to expect or what the foundation should do. So ColourPop No Filter Foundation. It says it's developed for the selfie age. Our full coverage natural matte foundation delivers flawless looking skin from day to day. The oil-free, lightweight formula blends smoothly and is easily customizable to create the coverage you want. Build it up or shear it out. It was developed with innovative, soft blurring pigments to deliver true color while looking and feeling natural. The lockable pump is easy to use and keeps your routine mess-free. As always, 100% cruelty-free and vegan, and you get 0.85 fluid ounces. Other foundations you get 1 fluid ounce, so just keep that in mind. And this also retails for $12 on the ColourPop website. Also, ColourPop does not do returns, so once you get it, you get it. You can't return if you get the wrong shade. So just keep that in mind, but it is really, really affordable. It is a glass bottle and it does have a pump. It did release in 42 different shades with all different types of undertones, and on the ColourPop Instagram they do have a find your shade type of post where they have each foundation shade, they have lists of that shade compared to other popular brands like MAC, Fenty, Maybelline Fit Me. So if you know what your shade is in those, you can hopefully find a shade that matches. So I'll probably be testing these against the Fit Me, the one that matches me for Fit Me, and see if it actually works. So I have 3 different shades. The box that it comes in looks like this. It's like a pink, like a muted pink. It has like the stripes. I got 3 shades. I got shade 110. I got shade light 70, which looks like this. And I also got medium 80. So if you put them up to each other, they all pretty much look almost the same. I'll be swatching them on my cheek, and I'll be reading off what the finder says that it should compare to. Just give you as much information as possible. So I do have normal to dry skin. I do have pigmentation along my face that I need covered up. I have been sick for about a week and a half, so my nose is swollen. It's really like there's dry patches all around it, and I just don't look the best. I need extra coverage today. Also, if you ever want to compare your shade to my shade or see what shades match me, I always put a huge foundation list down below, high-end drugstore that just match me the best. So go ahead and check the description box. Let's get to comparing these shades next to the other shades that match me. Let's go to that now and also see if it does oxidize. Okay, so this here is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in Light 70, and this is the Maybelline Fit Me in 220. So you can see this one is more yellow olivey, which I really like. than this one, but it looks like, yeah, I guess it could be very much similar, like as far as like the shade. Okay, so this is an old swatch. Here's the new swatch so we can see if it oxidizes. I definitely think it oxidizes just one shade darker. Here we have Maybelline Fit Me in 220. Here we have ColourPop in medium 110, ColourPop in medium 80, ColourPop in light 70. We have the Dior 2WO, which is my best match. Then we have the Flower Beauty Light Illusions M3. And then we have the NARS Manawatu 3.5, medium 3.5 foundation. The NARS Naturally Radiant. I do think that the ColourPop Light 70 is my best match. Borderline 80, maybe those two mixed. Okay, so I'm going to be swatching them on the side of my face to see which one is going to match me the best. Also, I wanted to read off what they say that they are. So I have here light 70, and it says on the Instagram that it's a warm foundation with golden yellow undertones for light medium skin tones. It matches MAC Studio Fix NC20, which I am not. L Double Wear 2W2, also Maybelline Fit Me in 220. So I am not an NC20, I'm an NC30, but Fit Me 220 fits me the best. So that's why I got this one to see. That's kind of, it's confusing. I'm not gonna lie, this thing is confusing. So this one is this one right here. Then we have medium 80. It says it's a warm foundation with gold yellow undertones for medium light skin tones. L Double Wear 3W 1.5 is your closest match. And I just got this because I thought it was kind of in between the other two. The first one, the 70, and then the next one that I'm going to try on. And I just didn't know which one was going to fit me the best. So there's that one. Okay, then I have the medium 110, which basically says warm foundation with rich golden undertones for medium tan skin tones, MAC Studio Fix NC35. I'm NC30, NC35-ish. Fenty 250, L Double Wear 3W 1.5, and Maybelline Fit Me 230, which is slightly, that one's slightly more yellow, which is fine because I'm more on the yellow side. Well, they say the Fit Me is more yellow. So maybe I'm in the wrong Fit Me, or maybe they just are weird with their shades. So this is the darker one. Whoa, it's kind of a lot. I'll swatch this one in the front. Okay, so those are the three. This is the 180, this is 70, light 70, and medium 80. Actually, let's just go with this one, medium 80. We're gonna go with medium 80. And we'll see if this one is a good match. So I'm going to be using the Sigma sponge on this side of the face, and I'm going to be using Sigma flat kabuki brush on this side of the face. And since I do have, since I had a cold and my nose is so scabby, I'm going to use, not scabby, that sounded really gross. It's dry and patchy. I'm going to be using the Hard Candy Coconut Water Primer Stick around my nose to try to help with that. And I'm going to use the TooFaced HangoveRX all over the face. I will link all my products that I use down below. Also, I do have a coupon code for the Sigma, 10% off, and an affiliate link down below. If you want to help me out, you can go check that out. Okay, here we go with medium 80. Not sure if this is too dark now that I'm thinking about it. Alright, going in with my brush or my sponge. Oh my gosh, I am talking so crazy right now. I've never been a light shade in my whole life, so the fact that light 70 fits me, it kind of is fitting me, This is just so crazy to me. Like in the cosmetics, Bye Bye CC cream, I'm light tan. Like that's my shade. So it's just crazy to me. It gave me like a medium coverage on this side of the face, and it does look soft matte. Can definitely see that. Maybe I could have gone with the lighter shade. I'll go in with the lighter one on this side and see if it'll build. So that's how it looks with the sponge on this side of the face. I'm going to continue with the brush, and I'll put down below in the description box which one fit me the best. And this is the Kabuki F80. I think it's definitely higher, medium, almost full coverage. I can still see some pigmentation issues, but it's looking so smooth on the brush side. But yeah, it looks crustier on my nose, which is to be expected. Okay. It looks so good on my forehead, you guys, with the brush. Like so smooth and flawless. Oh my word. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm telling you that I love the brush side 10 times better because it looks smoother. Now this side does look more skin-like though. It does look more skin-like because my skin is popping through. But even around my nose, even though it's crusty, I'll show you guys in a second, it kind of looks bad, but not as bad as I thought it was gonna look. I thought it was gonna look just horrid. And even though it's a matte foundation, I don't know if I mentioned, but matte foundations tend to really seep into these fine lines and just make it look terrible. And this one isn't doing so. So it makes me think that it would be good with mature skin, because if it's blurring my fine lines, and the chances of it working for mature skin that maybe has more fine lines to cover up, or you know, whatever it may be, it seems like it would work. It's a good one to try. This is before I even set my foundation. This is the brush side, this is the sponge side. It's actually doing so good around my crusty nose right now from, you know, sneezing so much. It's doing so good, and I haven't even set it yet, and it looks so good in these lines right here. Okay, so I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup and then we'll be back to see how it looks. Okay, so I finished the rest of my makeup. I actually have a whole first impression tutorial with this whole look. I did it on Wednesday, so I will put it up in an iCard for you guys to go check it out. But I'll still tell you what I used. So on my eyes, I used the Alamar Cosmetics Reina del Caribe Volume 1 palette. Looks like this. Like I said, go see that video. For blush, I use the ColourPop SuperShock Cheek in Drop of a Hat. I will link all the products off down below. I did use the ColourPop Concealer. I did use the ColourPop No Filter Setting Powder to set my face very, very lightly. I use the ColourPop Pressed Powder Face Bronzer in Bronzer to contour with and bronze up. For my highlight, it is poppin' today. I used La Costa in the palette, and I also used a little bit of El Malecón, which is like a gold shade. That's what I use as my highlight. For the lips, I use the Ofra Long Lasting Liquid Lipstick in Verona. That's what I have on my lips, very lightly. So I'm just telling you guys, I am loving this foundation so far. I am loving it. I do agree that it's a soft matte foundation. I do agree that it blurs to a certain extent. My pores are blurred, and also it blurred my lines here. I can tell there's a blurring factor to it because it didn't settle in, and matte foundations love to settle into my lines, and it did not. I also noticed that it didn't it didn't really grab the dryness around my nose as much as another matte foundation would have. It is so dry under there from being sick, and it actually doesn't look that bad. Like, you can kind of tell, but it's not horrendous, which I thought it was going to be a horrendous mess, but it's not. It looks really, really good, you guys. And it did give me on this side straight up medium coverage. On here it was like a low high coverage, almost high coverage, and it did layer really, really well. And I do love how both sides look, but I love the brush side because it gave it more of a blur on this side. The sponge didn't blur as much, but the brush side blurred a whole lot more. I could see that. And I think that it's a good match. I think that the 71 is a better spot on match because I have not been out in the sun at all. But I think the 80 is just like a tinge darker, and then the darker shade that I got, what was it, like 110, is going to be like, if I'm tanning, my summer shade. If you match me, if you're a twinsy with me, and you're tan, medium 110 is probably going to fit you the best. But yeah, I am loving it so far. So I'll check in with you guys in 5 hours. We'll do a flash test and talk about that as well. But yeah, wish me luck. Okay, so it's been, oh my gosh, I started out with the raspiest voice. Okay, so it's been 5 hours that I've been wearing the foundation, and I just want to start off by saying, guys, I had a cold. My nose is like peeling. Kind of reminds me of when you get a really bad sunburn and your skin peels. This isn't like dry patches. Like, dry patches are totally different than what's going on underneath my nose. So the foundation does look really gross under there, but it's not the foundation's fault. So don't pay attention to that. Don't think if you have dry patches it's going to look like this. Honestly, I think this is one of the better foundations that I think would work better if you had dry patches. This is one of the better matte foundations that I think could work for your skin. So just putting that out there, putting it out there. Let's talk about the flash test. So the flash test actually looked really, really good to me. I don't think it's that bad of a flash test. I mean, I don't think it's that bad of a bounce back. I think that this would look good, and honestly, I would wear this foundation and not be too worried about taking pictures with the flash. That's what I think, but you guys see the picture for yourself. You decide for yourself. Yeah, I took off my lashes. I'm starting to feel crummy again, so I changed my shirt to a PJ shirt. But yeah, my foundation everywhere else looks pretty good. It kind of started to settle into my lines here in my forehead, but I feel like I didn't set the forehead as well as I should have. Everywhere else on my face, it looks so beautiful, and it definitely looks like a very soft, matte, almost borderline natural now, like a natural finish, and it looks really, really good, and I love it. I love how it looks on my skin. I think it looks gorgeous. Both sides do. I do like the brush side a lot better. But the coverage is still there. It hasn't been transferring during the day. I haven't noticed it transferring onto my kids' clothing or anything like that, which is really, really, really good. And yeah, I feel like my face looks blurred. It looks beautiful. This is a good color match for me. So I'm loving it so far, but again, it's only been 5 hours, but it's at least made it past the 5 hour mark. It's hot, it's humid. A lot of drugstore foundations don't make it past the 5 hour mark. So I'm gonna continue to wear it throughout the rest of the night. 12-hour wear, long wear test, and I'll come back and we'll talk about how it looks at the very end of the night. Okay, so I accidentally deleted the final check-in of the first impressions footage. I wore it for 12 hours. That was like 2 days ago. And I deleted it. I'm so sorry. So I wore it again today. Well, I've been wearing it since I filmed that video a couple days ago, and I kind of have some more thoughts on it, but I wore it and applied it and used the exact same products I used in the beginning of this video, so I can show you kind of what it looks like at the very end of the night. So I've been wearing this foundation for 14 hours now. I've been wearing the foundation for 14 hours. It's definitely rubbed off on certain places, and it just looks odd after 14 hours. I would definitely, it doesn't look bad, like it doesn't, I don't think it looks patchy or anything like that. There's a lot of foundation left on my forehead, and my nose is pretty much stopped peeling, so it looks a lot better around there. So I actually don't mind how it looks. I think it looks fine for wearing the foundation for 14 hours in humidity. It was rainy all day. I was out shopping, so I was getting rained on, and it was super, super humid, but it actually looks really, really good for that situation. And I really like it. Let me just tell you, I've worn it now for like 3 days. Every single day for like 3 to 4 days. I love this foundation. It is so beautiful on the skin. I love it, and because it's so humid here and hot, I definitely think this is one of those foundations that in the summertime you need to wear a sticky primer with it. I feel like that with all of my foundations. When you're in extreme weather like that, you need to use sticky primer so that it can really grasp onto your foundation, because if not, it's going to melt off. That's just how I feel. So this foundation, I think, looks gorgeous no matter what primer I've used underneath, but I find it lasts the longest with the sticky primer. So I do actually like the primer that I used in the first impressions, the TooFaced Replenishing primer. What is it called? I always forget what it's called. I don't know why I can't remember what that primer is called. I actually really like it with that primer. Also the Hard Candy coconut water stick, that's a sticky primer. I really like it with that as well. And I think this foundation just looks nice. And one of my favorite things about the foundation is that I feel like their undertones are really good. They really do have a good yellow under there. So I feel like it really matched my skin really, really well. The more I wore it, I just really liked it. So I think they did a really good job. For $12, it's super affordable. I give this foundation a big old fat thumbs up. I actually really like it more than some of the other matte foundations I have, like the LA Girl Pro Matte. That one's okay compared to this one. The CoverGirl Trublend matte foundation, that one's okay. I'm sorry, it's so late. I think the ColourPop one is one of my top drugstore favorite matte foundations. I'm really liking how it wears. It wears beautifully. If you've been wanting to try it, I suggest trying it. Depending on where you live. If you live in a really hot, humid place, try to use a sticky primer, or else you're probably not going to like it. And just, if you have dry skin, hydrate really, really well. If you have oily skin, I think you will like this. I do. And I think if you have dry skin, you're going to like it. And even though it was super crusty around like my peeling nose, it didn't look that bad as other foundations would have looked. I think if you have dry patches, it won't look as bad as another matte foundation, but it is a matte foundation, so just keep that in mind. Hopefully you can understand what I'm saying. I'm so sorry I deleted the other footage. I think that it was kind of worked out better this way, because after wearing it for a couple days, I can actually tell you my full thoughts. I don't think that it transferred. I think that it looks great in flash. I think that it lasts a really long time. 14 hours is a long time for it to last. I think at the 10 to 12 hour marks, it still looked so good. So good. And today though, I was getting rained on, so it kind of is more, this is the most that it's came off, because it was, yeah, I was out in the store and I didn't have an umbrella. But yeah, I think it does a good job of blurring. It didn't sink into my fine lines. I really do like this one paired up with the No Filter setting powder. Those two together I felt like are really, really good. I do think that maybe it oxidizes a tiny bit, so be aware of that. And yeah, I think that's all. I think that's my those are my final kind of thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed my first impressions. Give me a thumbs up if you did. If you have a foundation request, make sure you leave it down below. I love you guys. I hope you guys have an awesome Friday, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.